Did you know that black women are 3 to 4 times likely to lose their lives during and after childbirth, which is 60% preventable according to the CDC? In addition, postpartum depression affects 1 in 8 women. However, studies have shown that it is higher in black women, and they are less likely to receiving help because they are overlooked due to the historical mistrust within the healthcare system, structural racism, financial barriers, and of course stigmas associated with mental health issues. Now, you are going to listen to a brief interview between Keke Palmer and Vice President Kamala Harris, and I will be back with my final commentary.
Hello. As you guys may know, I've been a mother for 4 months now, and it has changed my life incredibly. Not just in figure, but personal, career. I mean, in just the way that I look at mothers that have come before me now that I'm finally in their shoes. I mean, motherhood is fabulous, but it also comes with its own unique challenges. And I immediately knew, like I think the first week, that most mothers do not get the support that they need, because I found myself to be struggling, and I had family, friends, everyone within arm's reach, and it still was a lot. And as always, when I get into a topic, I have to talk to the best of the best on baby. This is Keke Palmer. So I'm very excited to introduce you guys to my guest today, Madam VP, Kamala Harris. Hello!
Thank you, Keke.
It is so good to be here with you. Before we get into everything, I just gotta ask, how you doing? What's the tea? How's things been going since I last seen you?
I'm good, honey. But it was the highlight of my day was to meet Leo.
Isn't
Are
he the
you
best?
kidding?
I
He's
can't
just
believe-
precious.
When I got that call, I think it was, first of all, I don't know how you do all the things you're doing and then you find the time to call us. Literally just a few days after he was born. I'm like, unknown voicemail, who is this? Hello, it's Madam VP Kamala Harris. I'm like, oh my God, tell Leo I welcome. I loved it. It made my heart feel so full that you could even just take time out your busy schedule to say hello to us.
Please, just you are doing your thing in
thank
so many ways, and just congratulations to you, to Darius, to that beautiful baby you brought in the world. Congratulations.
Thank you
Truly.
so much. Thank you. God is good.
Every day, all the time.
Yes, yes, yes. Now, the last time I spoke to you, we were at the light year party that you threw with NASA.
Yes.
Uzo was there. We had the screening. It was so
Remember that?
lovely.
Uh-huh.
But right before then, I got it all in the biz, trying to figure out how you deal as a political official.
Yeah.
With having so many different things going on. I mean, there are tons of issues in the world. Half of them's probably in America. But no, in all seriousness, there's a lot of things for you to have to focus on. And you can't do everything at once. And then the one thing or the few things that you focus at, people still can have problems with that.
Yeah.
But you spoke very clearly about the maternal health crisis.
Yes.
And how that was very important for you this term. And I mean, I heard you when we were talking about it then. But now, I'm a mother.
Right.
And it's
right.
become a
Because
very...
you weren't even pregnant then when we
No,
had that conversation.
I was not.
Right.
I was not. So
That's right. That's right.
It's really become a personal thing for me. So I just want to talk about what makes it a crisis and why, in a world with all these things we have going on, why was this the most important for you right now?
So, first of all, it falls under the umbrella for me of just what are still the failures of our healthcare system as it relates to women's health care. Mm-hmm. And that could be anything from fibroid care,
Yes.
to breast cancer, to maternal health, to reproductive care and access to reproductive care. And so I think of it that way. And the majority of my career I've spent focused on the health, the safety, and the well-being of women and children. I mean, even when I was DA, that was a focus of my work, a main focus of my work was to address abuse against women and children. And so on the issue of the maternal health care crisis, it is truly a health care crisis in America in that we are one of the richest countries in the world, if not the richest. And we have one of the highest rates of maternal mortality in the world. This is completely unacceptable. And when you look closely at the issue, Black women are 3 times more likely to die in connection with childbirth than other women.
I gotta understand that, because obviously we could just say, oh, it's racism, right? But how do we break it down? Obviously, I'm sure systemic racism is part of that.
Yeah.
But to what degree, right? Is this, the disparity in the communities? Is this people don't believe Black women? Is it, how does it actually contribute to this issue exactly, that we're losing Black women like this?
So, to your point, there are a lot of factors, to be sure. But one of the biggest has to do with the fact that she is a Black woman.
I mean, really?
And when she walks into that hospital, that clinic, or that doctor's office, she is not taken as seriously. The facts support the reality, which is that regardless of her socioeconomic or education level, she is still looking at the likelihood that she is more likely to not be taken seriously and to then have outcomes in terms of her health care that reflect that. But there are other things. It's about the stressors, right? So it could be everything from the lack of access to transportation, the lack of access to high quality health care. For example, you look at so many of our women who are in the South, and in particular in rural areas in the South, and healthcare deserts. You look at Texas and Oklahoma as 2 examples of other areas where in half the counties in Texas and Oklahoma, they don't even have one OBGYN.
So it's not even accessible.
That's exactly right. So there are a variety of factors, but the bottom line is this. The bottom line is that these women should not be dying.
No.
And they should be taken seriously. So a lot of the work that I've done, even when I was in the Senate, was about saying what we need to do to train healthcare professionals to understand the racial bias.
Right, because we're talking about years of propaganda, you know what I mean? We've all experienced it as Black women. People have not believed me many times.
Yes.
So to me, it's like, it's interesting to hear you talk about how it's about unlearning and relearning how to humanize the Black woman, which it's insane that we're still here at 2023. It's like we're still beating down that same thing, but it's important.
And to also respect the dignity of Black women's bodies and the intelligence of Black women to let you know what they need and then listen to that. And so a lot of the work that I'm doing is about what we need to do to speak truth about this, even though it might be difficult for some people to hear.
Yeah.
And then to act on it, right, with solutions. So part of it is, for example, I love doulas, right? And
Absolutely.
Who are predominantly women from the community who have a community care kind of approach to what they do to help pregnant women and women immediately after and shortly after childbirth in giving them a safe place.
Yes.
Where they are treated with dignity, where they are respected, where they're listened to, right? That's so important. The other piece of this is also to remind our sisters, our cousins, our aunties, our best friends, when you go to speak to that healthcare professional, that doctor or that nurse, require that they answer your questions and know you have every right to ask any question that is on your mind.
Yes, autonomy.
Absolutely right. And it's their job to answer your questions. So know that, and let's support each other in saying, go in that room, and when you go in that room, you ask your questions and require that they're answered. It's about letting folks know when you go into those situations, go, if you need to, with a list ahead of time where you are tracking how you are feeling. Because you will be asked sometimes, and often you will be asked, how's it been? How are you doing? So start keeping a list and notes about how you're feeling. Are you having discomfort? Have you had a fever?
I love
right?
what you
Things
said,
like that.
also speaking about the doula, because this is something that's seen as a specialty, and it should be a necessity. And I think, shout out to Erica Badu, someone that is in the public eye and pop culture, who has constantly normalized the use of that, because that person can't advocate for you if you are afraid to advocate for yourself. So I love how you speak about that.
And also, in the thing that she's been doing and what doulas will advocate for is you as the pregnant person, as a pregnant woman, create a team. And your team will include your doctor and your doula.
I will leave a link in the description below for the full interview with Keke Palmer and VP Kamala Harris. These are